Hi everybody, I have another chalk drawing to share with you today. We are working from this book called Ancient Egypt Drawing Book by Ralph Masiello. We picked it up from rainbowresource.com and today we are working on King Tut's mask. So this is going to be a chalk drawing that I am doing on our mounted chalkboards in our schoolroom. We've got 6 of them. And we got the chalkboards from waldorfsupplies.com. I'm using Sargent Art chalk pastels, which are also from Waldorf Supplies. And I'm using the book very closely in order to do this drawing. I don't know how to draw naturally, so this book is really helpful. It has step-by-step instructions, and if you've seen my first chalk drawing with Queen Nefertiti, then you'll know that I forgot to look, or I just, didn't realize that there were multiple steps in making these drawings. And so when I got to this one, actually, I did this one first, and I was looking through it, and I'm like, oh, I don't need, like, step 1 and 2. I think I'll just, move along to, like, step 10, and that was fine. Now, I did not step back and look at my drawing as I was doing it, so once I was done, I'm like, oh, I think the chin is a little off, and it's not quite even, and one eye was higher than the other, and one ear is higher than the other, but it wasn't a big deal. Like, I did not bother erasing it, but if that bothers you, then totally, erase it. This is a chalkboard. It's easy to do that. If your child is following along with you, then I would recommend that he or she uses a light pencil first to do the outline the way I'm doing with the white chalk, and then come back in with the color, because erasing color pencil is really difficult, and if you're using any other kind of medium, I don't think that you can erase it. So I would just suggest a light pencil. My kids tend to be heavy-handed with their pencils, and even if you erased it, you can still see that it indented the paper. So it's just a little tip. So back to the drawing. A lot of the white stuff that I did for this outline ended up being obsolete, because once you put the colored chalk over the outline, you pretty much lose all that detail. So in the lower part of the mask, there's all these white lines that I did on that circular part, like that covers the chest. All that I had to do over anyway. So just a tip, when you're working on the chalkboard, getting, like, say, a very general, very vague outline is probably a good way to go, because once you get all of your colored chalk on it, you're going to lose that detail. Something else is that I find a little more challenging to blend chalk than it is other art mediums. And so what ends up happening is whatever color you put on over it tends to almost erase the color below it, but not exactly, because you end up getting that color that was the first coat onto your chalk. So at some point when I, accidentally get blue on the yellow or vice versa, I need to kind of draw it off and wipe it off on the chalkboard below, because this is the upper chalkboard. I've got 3 on top of another set of 3, if that makes sense. At the end, you'll see a picture of all 6 drawings, and then you can kind of get an idea. I had to actually stand on a chair to do the upper parts of this, so I just stood on a chair to do the whole thing, but then that's why I also wasn't able to get a good perspective on it. So already you can see right now that the ear on the right side and the eye on the right side is higher than the other. And if you're a novice artist, you're not going to care, and if you know how to draw, then you're looking at this and probably cringing. My kids loved it. When they walked in and they saw this drawing half done, they were thrilled to pieces. It was only my 5-year-old daughter that said that the book looked better than the drawing, and that's fine. All right, so now you can get a kind of glimpse at both of the pictures side by side. And then my kids got to work and did theirs, and theirs turned out so well. I was so impressed with theirs. They were using the book as a guide, and the drawing on the chalkboard is inspiration. And here are their drawings. My 8th graders on the left side, my 4th graders on the right side. They did a great job. So if you want to see any of the other chalk drawings, you can click here to see some of those videos. And if you want to see more pictures, you can always check out my Instagram account. Now, here's the cartouche I did for King Tut. I didn't do this as a separate video because it's super short and really not all that interesting. I did the rope cartouche, there's different ways to do this, and then the different hieroglyphs for King Tut's name, and so that's a circle, I actually don't know what they all are, and a scarab and something else at the bottom. All right, thanks for watching.